quick introduction. I am Chris Colson. I am VP of Events for the Crosse Rochester chapter. And today we're going to do an orientation, and I'm going to kick it off to Scott and Denise, our membership and president of the chapter.
Thanks, Chris. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us. So this is our first new member orientation that we've put together for the chapter. So we're really happy that everybody's able to join us and kind of help us go through it, and we'll continue to refine it for all the future. So a little bit about our chapter. We'll try to go over this for the agenda here. So we've got our overview of what a PMI chapter is, as well as about the Rochester Lacrosse chapter specifically, or Lacrosse Rochester. And then a little bit more about membership, our web resources, upcoming events, and then we'll have some time for some Q&A at the end here. So getting started, what is a PMI chapter? Because you join PMI Global as kind of the parent organization, but then the chapter is a group of our PMI members within a distinct and definable geographical area. So for us, that's La Crosse and the surrounding area, as well as Rochester and Minnesota and the surrounding area. So really the chapters are all over the world, different cities, regions, countries worldwide. I think all of South Dakota is all a single chapter. I think North Dakota might be all a single chapter. In Minnesota, we have two chapters, the Minnesota Greater chapter and then Rochester. And then Wisconsin, there's the La Crosse chapter, as well as I believe 4 other chapters. So the purpose behind it is some community engagement. So our PMI chapters create a sense of belonging, foster community spirit amongst members, then organizing regular members or meetings, events, workshops, seminars, allow people to connect, exchange ideas. We have a big annual event every year, but then we have monthly events that we typically make available too. So a little bit more about us specifically. So our chapter includes the Crosse, Wisconsin, Rochester, Minnesota, nearby cities. But regardless of your location, you're welcome to join our chapter and participate virtually. So once you're a part of PMI, you can join multiple chapters anywhere in the world as long as you have that PMI membership. Our vision for our chapter is to provide value to the practitioners, the organizations, the communities we serve by promoting project management's best practices. Our members typically meet monthly in various locations between Wisconsin and Minnesota. We typically alternate for our in-person meetings. And then the format of the meetings usually include a brief update from our board, a guest speaker presentation, and then usually we're focusing on the real challenges of project managers. So a little bit about our board. We have a lot of very dedicated individuals that are helping volunteer and support our chapter across the area. So we have representation from across Wisconsin as well as Minnesota. So we have a couple of our board members on with us right now, all in the VP position. So Denise, would you like to take a moment and introduce yourself?
You bet. Thanks, Scott. I'm very excited about this meeting today. We haven't had new member orientation for quite some time. So Scott, as VP in his role, has kind of taken the lead to refresh this, and we're all here to support our members. We are membership driven. We do a survey through PMI Global every year. It should go to each one of our chapter members, and it asks for your feedback on what would you like to see, what kind of events, both networking and professional development events. We really do use those surveys and digest that information. We also encourage each one of you to reach out to Scott or Chris or any of our VPs who are listed here and share your ideas and feedback on what we can do to serve you, because that is our mission. That's why we're here. So thank you again for joining us today, and I hope I'm able to meet you in person at one of our future events.
Thanks, Denise. So we do have quite a few of our VPs are on the call, as well as some of our directors. So our directors help support the VPs in the different areas, and we usually have openings for volunteers to help get involved at any time. And I see we've got Peggy on as well, one of our directors. All right, getting into a little bit about our membership. So PMI offers 3 different standard membership types. There's our standard membership with some of the benefits included there. A student membership, which is really geared towards people who are active students, and then a military membership. And so those benefits for military members are specifically related to a partnership with the armed forces. So rather than going over every individual piece here, I just wanted to pull up some of the quick highlights that we have. And all this information is also available on pmi.org. So we'll touch on that a little bit later in the presentation, where to find those resources. So specifically, chapter membership benefits, so that's in addition to the regular PMI global membership. We could provide project management professionals with valuable opportunities to learn, grow, connect with others in our fields, networking with other individuals that work around the area and different industries, as well as professional development. So I mentioned earlier that we have a big professional development day every year. This year is going to be at the Hilton in just a couple of months here. So looking forward to having a lot of people come and share their experience and just kind of network and grow. So additionally, some of the other benefits we have of being a chapter member are leadership opportunities. So PMI chapters provide members with opportunities to take on leadership roles within the chapter, including serving on the board of directors or leading a committee. Really, those are great for getting PDUs as well as networking and building out those skills. As you saw earlier, we have a lot of different areas and a lot of different opportunities for us to continue to grow and to volunteer with the chapter. Additionally, you'll have access to different resources being a PMI member. So access to job listings, research reports, industry publications, a lot of those are on PMI's regular site, but on our website, we might have more local resources or local jobs that are available that we're kind of advertising. And then additionally, there may be discounts. So being a chapter member gives you a discount on all of our events, as well as like the PDD that's coming up. You'll get $25 right off the registration, which is the dues for the entire year for our membership. So it already pays for itself just by being a member. And then community involvement. So we try to engage with our community service projects, charitable initiatives, and giving our members an opportunity to give back to our communities and build out our professional networks. So we work with different organizations across our area, and we're always open to learning about more opportunity that's out there. And have a lot of very dedicated people that are happy to help if we can. So some stats about our chapter specifically. So I am the VP of membership, and then we have Amanda Brown as our director of membership. So we really support the current members of our chapter. And right now that's about 312 professionals in the La Crosse, Wisconsin, Rochester, Minnesota regions. Oop, moved on me. And so something else that's a benefit for our chapter specifically is a mentorship program where members can either be a mentor or be a mentee. So we have one of our VPs is really good at walking people through how to get your PMP certification. So if that's something that's a focus for you, you could work with them specifically. Or we have other mentors that are more specifically related to the IT industry or more construction and best practices around that. So a lot of really good opportunities to network, especially if that's an industry that you're looking to get started in. So we also have numerous educational and networking events which help you earn PDUs. So if you do have a certification from PMI, you have to maintain those certifications, and just by attending our events is a great way for you to get those PDUs. We already touched on volunteer opportunities, and then a partnership with local colleges and universities that offer project management focused programs. So we can get you in touch if you're interested in learning a little bit more about, say, the project management program at St. Mary's University. We have a strong partnership with them and with the dean of the program. So we could definitely help if you have questions or kind of get you in touch with them. All right, and digging a little bit more into our current chapter members. So as of January 31st, we had 312 members. With a wide variety of different credentials that are represented across our chapter members. And so some people might have multiple credentials, and so that number, whoop, there it goes again. It doesn't all add up specifically. So you might have somebody that has their PMP, but they also might have their PMI ACP for Agile Certified Practitioner. So this really highlights the depth of all the different types of experiences that we have within our chapter members. And then I've got a link down here to pmi.org for certifications, and that can really show you a lot of the different micro credentials that are out there, or PMI keeps looking at adding more to stay relevant. So I think there's some AI related micro credentials that are available now that doesn't look like anybody in our chapters gotten into yet, but I'm sure that'll be soon. Then just a call out to our new members that joined in December and January. So thank you very much. It's good to see that you're joining. And part of the purpose of this orientation is to help make sure that you can kind of get the most out of your membership when you join us. So thanks to all of them. All right, and next section that I have to go through is related to our web resources. So there's a couple of web resources that I'll point out. So pmi.org is the parent organization, and that's the website that has information on the certifications, membership, so to membership to PMI Global, as well as some of our standards and publications are out there, like the PMBOK, so the Project Management Body of Knowledge, and then industry-specific standards, so like for construction or IT or legal, as well as publications, articles, learnings, and events, and everything else you can use to get more engaged with PMI. And then in addition to that, we have our own website just for the chapter where we'll have links to social media. We'll have information about sponsorship, so the sponsors for our chapter currently, and then upcoming events, more about the mentorship program and volunteer engagement platform. We'll show you our volunteer opportunities as well as careers. So I'll just click into this here and we'll pull up pmi.org. All right, so right on the home page, they have kind of what's topical right now. So AI and project management is still something a lot of people are trying to wrap their head around. What tools are available? How does that integrate in with our processes? But along the top here, you'll see these tabs where you can dig a little bit more into the website. So the Explore, that's usually a lot of the kind of top of mind, the new things for people to kind of look around through. But I touched on certifications. So an overview of certifications specific to Agile or micro credentials. So if you're looking to understand what does it mean to have your CAPM, what are the qualifications and the requirements, as well as resources to learn a little bit more about them, this is a great place to start. And then into membership here, so that gives you your membership FAQs, student membership, and a little bit more about what local chapter might be closest to you. So that's that slide that I had earlier that goes through some of those benefits. You can go out here if you wanted to dig into those a little bit more, see what programs are available. Again, standard and publications. So there's more than just the PMBOK. There's all sorts of different standards and topics that you can dig into. And then learning and events. These are going to be our global events. Events are going to be local to our chapter, will be on our chapter's website. So I'll pull up that here in a moment. But then also some of the overview of business solutions and agile practice. Now, if you are a PMI member already, you'll have this login that you can go into, and that'll bring you to your dashboard specific to your credentials and maintaining your PDUs, as well as if there's something new that you have that's pulling up. Oh, just chat here. Okay. So that's our PMI global website. Now for our PMI La Crosse Rochester website, let's see if I can get it to open up here. So this is a website that we maintain on the board. And so we'll have information on there about events local to us, if we want to volunteer or grow your career with PMI, learning a little bit more about our mentorship program, as well as I had mentioned, some information about our sponsors. So currently St. Mary's University and University of Wisconsin-Platteville are sponsors for our chapter. And then links to follow us on social media. In addition to having Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and we do have X, we just haven't updated the handle for Twitter here. We also have a YouTube channel where we'll be able to record videos that are free to our members that we can share out there. So we have a celebration of our 20th year anniversary that our VP of Marketing put together with interviews with past presidents that would be available on YouTube. And I'll have a QR code that you can scan, a link off of here, But we're working through updating our website right now, so that gives us a little bit more opportunity to put information on here. But this is what we have currently out and available. So again, along the top, we have these little tabs that you can kind of dig into a little bit more if you want some more information. Oh, let's see. Looks like we have somebody in the lobby. Oh, perfect. So under upcoming events here, that'll take you through kind of a month by month to show what events we have that are up and coming and available. So specifically today we have our February 6th event. That is our new member orientation. So we're running through our slides now. But then next week we'll have an event on the 11th. So that, oh, I'm sorry, that's our call for nomination still. The next virtual event is February 13th, so next Tuesday evening. And so that'll have information about who's going to be presenting as well as how to register for it. And then if we want to click into the next month, we can see what we have available for March and April. I believe we're in the process of getting these updated right now because we do have events that are coming up here. Here's that PDD Professional Development Day. That's going to be at the Hilton in Rochester that I mentioned. So in a nutshell, that's our website. Please take more time to kind of dig into it a little bit more. You can either get to it by going to pmilacrosserochester.org. So that's our website directly. Or from pmi.org, you can also search for our chapter's website. If you're signed in and you're a member of our chapter, it'll actually show up under the navigation here. Off to the side, it'll show up in the bottom. So I can actually show what that looks like when we sign in here. So I've got my profile pulled up here. If it's the first time that you're signing in, you'll probably be prompted for a username and a password. You can see if there's something that you're currently working on. So I need to go through and renew my PMP membership for the year, or my certification. So that shows up just as a reminder that's coming up here. But then off to the right, we would see your chapters, and that's going to have a link to get to our website. So if you're looking for kind of a quick way to find our website, not having to remember, was it La Crosse first or Rochester first, or where was the dash? That's a great way to be able to find it quickly. And then that also keeps you signed in here for a PMI. All right, and then as I mentioned, we do have social media that we're pretty active with, especially on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and then YouTube. We're still kind of scratching the surface of it. So we're getting more videos kind of recorded so we can share with our membership. And then upcoming events. So we kind of blew through these pretty quickly, but this is a little bit more of a concise slide that shows all these coming up here, as well as some pictures of past events that we've had. We have a fun crew. I think we like to have a lot of fun at our events, and we try to be very social. So if you've never been to one of our events, please stop by. We'd be happy to meet with you, talk, and just kind of introduce you to more people in our chapter. So we'll have our next virtual event, which will be coming up next week. Oops. And click on the slides. That's going to be just over Zoom. So that'll be UW Platteville, seeing some of the capstone projects. So those are people that are going through the project management degree. That'll share with us some of what they're doing for their project, as well as what they're doing for their day job. And then we'll have March 14th. So that was one that dropped off of our website, but I think we're updating it now. That's the Safari Way, Roaring Success with the Right Peoples in the Jeep. And that'll be in person in La Crosse, Wisconsin, but we make all of our events available through hybrid. So you could also join via Zoom. We'll have a camera set up in the room, and you can still interact with that speaker, even if you're not there in person. Then April 11th, that'll be our professional development days. Same thing. It is a hybrid event and a great way to get PDUs. So there's information about that. And then we'll have our annual meeting for the Rochester area, and that's on May 14th. And then certainly more to come, but those are the ones that I know we already have dates for and locations for, but we'll be adding those to our website, as well as sending out reminders through Constant Contact, and then our new website platform that we have going live here soon. All right, so I'm a fast talker, so I got through the whole presentation pretty quickly, which leaves us a lot of time to be able to go through Q&A, a little bit of networking if people have questions about, what other industries people work in or best practices. Really, the big benefit of our chapter is the connections that you can make with other people within the chapter. So I want to take some time and see if people have any questions that they want to run past us. You can come off mute, or you can post your questions in the chapter here, or in the chat. I'll go back to slide here for social media in case people want to take a moment to scan one of our QR codes. That'll take you right into our LinkedIn profile, our Instagram, Facebook. Like I said, LinkedIn, we write a lot of really cool journalism articles that are out there with people from the industry and around the Rochester and La Crosse area. Our communications team, we have a couple of directors on that team that really help write a lot of the journalism, and it's always great. We also have information on there from Denise, who's our president, and Nimka, who's our VP of marketing. They do a lot of really good posting about resources for the area as well.
Not a question, but Tiffany Wilson, I sit as the director under Sarah for operations, and I would make a big plug to new people. Like, it is by far the coolest way to kind of get involved in the chapter and not have all the responsibility on you, right? Like, you're just a supporting member to one of our VPs and can learn the ropes, and you don't have to commit to, a 2-year term or it's really just kind of, like I say, that supporting person to our VPs and in a way to get involved in the chapter.
Yeah, that's a great call out, Tiffany. So specifically, talking about some of what's required for a VP of our chapter, it is a 2-year term, and there's a nomination process that all of our active chapter members vote for somebody to help kind of lead our chapter moving forward. So let me pull up the events coming up here. So our call for nominations. So this is some information about our open positions that are coming up at the end of their 2-year term. And so people can re-up for a second term if they want to. So like myself specifically as VP of membership, I've been in my role for 2 years now, which means that it's up for me to go up for nomination again, and then voting for me to either be re-elected, or if somebody else wants to come in that's also interested, it's an opportunity for them to step in as a VP. Or as Tiffany had mentioned, we have directors that are kind of self-appointed. So any of the VPs can say, I'm going to work with this person. They're going to help support me in this role. And that's not an elected position. So the term is much more flexible. How much you might be working with us is much more flexible as well. So like I have a director of community engagement that I meet with about once a week for 15 to 20 minutes, just to kind of brainstorm, hey, what are new areas that we can really expand our chapter? So what connections can we make with different organizations in the Rochester and La Crosse areas, like a school or an organization that works with construction, project management, just to really help build that network of our members. As the slide says here, the nomination's still open. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about these, we have our email address, our past president. That's their role on our board, is kind of helping facilitate those elections, just so that way there's that independent oversight. So I'm not deciding whether or not I want to let people run against me. So thanks, Tiffany. That's something we can definitely add a little bit more about. What does it mean to be a VP or a director within our chapter? Right. Any other questions that you folks might have? Yeah, Kaylin.
Who
Or
would
did I say
be
it
like,
right?
you did, which is
Okay,
actually
perfect.
really surprising because most people say Caitlin. There's somehow a T that gets blurred in there.
Sure, sure.
So I'm brand new into project management.
Yeah.
I have no certifications whatsoever. the company that I currently work for has been pushing for project management, and I kind of happen to fall into the role of being, I guess, a little too OCD. So it kind of plays into being good with project management. So
Sure.
who would be like the best resource to figure out like what are the steps to get a certification in project management?
Sure. So I could speak to this, or Denise, you work with our mentorship program so well, you probably have right off the top of your head, you know who to ask or where to go.
Yes, we have some great resources for you, Caitlin. So we have a VP, our VP of marketing also serves as our mentor for folks who are interested in a PMI certification. So she just got her PMP last year. So that means she's got the latest and greatest links, tips, practices. She can share the experience, how it will benefit you, and just point you to all the right resources. There are a lot of resources out there. And as a member, the mentorship is no cost to you. And what you do is just let us know that's something you're interested in, and we'll contact NIMCA. And I can do that today if you like. And then she will reach out to you, and you guys can schedule your first session and take it from there.
That would be great, because I have Google searched about 100 million things, and the amount of things that come up, and I'm like, I can't tell you where to start.
Yeah, and you're very wise to ask, because not everything that is out there is credible and will actually help you pass the PMP. PMP is very specific certification through PMI, so you're very wise to take this approach.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right,
Scott?
you bet.
Do you want to just bring up, go to our website, and then under, where is it at? Under Get Involved, go to the mentorship page.
Yeah. And Caitlin, I also did post this in the chat. So a link to this specific page that has our information about reaching out. Because we do have your registration information, so I should have a contact for us to be able to follow up with you. But in case you wanted to send something or just kind of recap what we were talking about, NIMCA is specifically who we were referring to. NIMCA's helped several people with that certification.
Perfect. I will reach out. Thank you.
Sure. And additionally, PMI does kind of talk through the different certifications available that they offer. And that first certification level that they typically would recommend for people interested in project management, more traditional project management, is the CAP-M. That's something that you don't need specific demonstrated years of experience or certain training to be able to go through it. It's really just familiarizing yourself with the material, and that's a much cheaper point of entry too. In addition to that, we had talked about PMP. That's kind of the global standard for project management. And that does require having a certain number of years of demonstrated experience, as well as certain type of education background. You can take like a 2-year degree, and I think it's like 60 credits. But that kind of talks you through all of the different qualifications for it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Great question. Any other questions that you folks had? All right, as a project manager, I always love being able to end a meeting early because I know people have plenty of stuff that they want to be able to get to. And especially over a lunch hour like this, people might still want to be able to go grab some food or unplug a little bit and de-stress. So if there's no objections, we can call the meeting a little early. And of course, we can send out a follow-up with the slide deck. So if people want to take a little bit more time to dig into it, as well as information on how to find contact information for us right off of our website. So if something does come up or something, you know, kind of in the back of your mind, as soon as we get off the call, you could certainly reach out to us.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Great
Yeah, no problem.
information.